Hi, I'm Kat Eggers, and this is a short Dharma talk on what is Tantra Yoga. Where to begin? So back in the day in India, when Tantra was being practiced, it was a way, one of many, to become enlightened, to reach enlightenment through various practices. What made Tantra different at the time was the Tantra, instead of viewing this physical world, Maya, everything that changes, as bad and something to be shunned, Tantra instead viewed everything that's in our world that changes as a gateway to the divine. In the Tantric tradition, the divine was called Brahman. You might have your own term. I like to use God. So the idea is that we don't leave this world to encounter God. We encounter God or Brahman or the divine in all things. And it's a matter of how we're showing up that determines whether or not we see God and encounter God in everything that we do. So in Tantra, practitioners would use ritual, would use chanting, song, ecstatic dancing to encounter Brahman, and also to encounter whatever was in them that was keeping them from God. And they would call them demons. We might call them our unconscious habits, our unconscious beliefs. One of the practices that tantrics would do is they would go to cremation grounds, because these were considered to be places where you could easily encounter your fear, which is a big demon. So the practitioner would go to the cremation ground and sit and perform an elaborate ritual of protection in order to be able to sit in the presence of their fear and overcome it. And by overcoming their fear, by staying present and with the fear, the practitioner gained a certain power over that fear. So Tantric Yoga takes these rituals that were very externalized and internalizes them into Hatha Yoga, the practices of pranayama and meditation that modern practitioners are familiar with. So we're taking this idea of putting ourselves in a situation where we are encountering our demons and then allowing that relationship to be. Instead of trying to fight the demon, instead of trying to run away from the demon, we stay with. And by staying with, we overcome. So this is in essence the practice of Tantric Yoga. It's the practice of allowing. So we stay with whatever is arising, we allow, and by doing that, we come into relationship with whatever that is. And I think that that's the essence of this practice. And in order to actually do that, we have to cultivate the ability to witness. And in the Tantric tradition, this is called Buddhi, B-U-D-D-H-I, or witness consciousness. Some traditions call this the capital S, self. So essentially, Tantric Yoga is cultivating buddhi or witness consciousness through various methods. It could be mantra, it could be pranayama, meditation, it could be your asana practice, it could be studying the scriptures, self-study. There's lots and lots of ways to cultivate buddhi. And what buddhi is this place of equanimity. When we are seated in buddhi, in witness consciousness, we don't have a preference. We don't feel an aversion towards things or an attachment towards things. We let everything flow. So through this cultivation of witness consciousness, we can come into deeper and deeper relationship with everything else. Because a relationship requires two things, at least, to come together, to be with each other. And if we're identified with the body, we're identified with our thoughts, we're identified with our ego, then there's no relationship. There's no space for things to flow. So buddhi, awareness, allows for so much flow to happen, for all these relationships to evolve, and for this exchange to happen between buddhi and mind, and buddhi and the body, between the body and our minds. And it's through that relationship, through stepping in to presence and being with, that we can meet God in all things. That is the essence of Tantric Yoga. In the words of my teacher, Yoganand Michael Carroll at the Kripalu Institute, Tantra celebrates embodiment. And in the Tantric tradition, to become enlightened, we actually must come into relationship with the body. And there's a term for this kind of enlightenment called Jivan Mukti, which means liberated in the body. So in order to do this practice, we have to have some practice of cultivating our ability to stay in witness. And that might be your yoga practice. It might be your pranayama practice, your meditation practice. But it doesn't have to be limited to those things. I know people who are runners, and running for them cultivates their buddhi. Playing an instrument, I know for some people, is a way of cultivating buddhi. For some people, gardening is a way to cultivate buddhi. So you might look at your life through this lens and notice how you're already doing this practice. And by looking at your current practices through this lens, you might enter into them with a little bit more intention, a little more awareness of how the practice is supporting your ability to be in relationship with all things, including yourself. So I hope this has been a helpful video. If you're interested in joining me for a Tantric Yoga meditation series, I should have another one coming up here soon. There's still time to register for the one that's going on right now. So send me a message if you'd like to sign up, and I will send you all of the information you'll need. Namaste.